So, today I want to talk to you about quantum hacking your 2024 timeline. And I want to share a story with you to really emphasize and highlight how we can subconsciously be blocking things out of our reality when source and the universe is trying to yield us beyond what we've asked for, and how we can be vibrationally pushing those things away. So I am on Instagram and YouTube live simultaneously. Pick your platform. This is the last transmission of the year. I've been kind of like, yeah, a lot's been going down for me personally, so I've been taking like a little break, but the frequency of this transmission really wanted to come through, so here we are. And this is really going to open up the doorway and the gateway for you to have the most expansive anchoring into your 2024 timeline with source energy. Okay, so I want to share this story with you. Maybe 2 years ago, I was sending someone really close to me a gift, and maybe you've heard me talk about this in the past. I was sending them a gift. It was a Louis Vuitton wallet, and they never received it. They never received the gift. Um, and I ended up kind of, I think someone stole it. I'm like pretty sure someone stole it. It was like around a busy holiday type time, and that thing happens. But when I tapped in with source, when I tapped in with my team of light, and I was just asking, what's going on with this? And they said this person was not vibrating at the frequency of the gift. And I want you to just let that land. Here I was excited to send this gift, wanting to send this gift, hand selected it, picked it out, loved it, a luxury gift. Spent the money, loved spending the money, really wanted this person to have this gift. And vibrationally, they could not receive it, right? And so when I went deeper into the energetics, and I said, well, like, what do you mean they're not vibrating at the frequency of the gift? And it really boiled down to unworthiness. And then I'm actually remembering how it happened with greater detail. They actually received the package, but when they opened the gift up, nothing was inside. Nothing was inside. So someone had stolen it more than likely, and sort of, kept the packaging in a certain way. What is the energy of opening a gift, opening something that someone has sent you, but nothing is inside? It's the frequency of being let down by someone or something. It's the perpetuation of the story that manifested that things don't work out for me, or that I'm not good enough to have a particular thing. And so, why is this so relevant? Because source is trying to send you things, hand selected it, picked it out, wants to give it to you. Know you would love it. Know you would really enjoy this experience or this relationship or this job or the more money, whatever it is that you're trying to call into your 2024 reality. Literally wanting to send it and excited to send it. But are you vibrationally prepared? I love that. Are you vibrationally prepared to receive it? Because what happens when we're not vibrationally prepared to receive it, and that's because of all of the stories and the programs and the conditions, and we don't feel worthy and resist all of these things. When we're not vibrationally prepared to receive it, it's like energetically it just bounces off of us, and then reality shows us a weird circumstance or condition, and it's like, well, how did that happen? And so maybe you're wondering, why was I a vibrational match to this experience? right? Why was I a vibrational match to sending someone something that they couldn't receive? Well, a few things. One, it really helped me understand energy in a completely new way in terms of we can be putting so much out and people could just really not be in the frequency to receive it, and we're wondering, well, is it me, or is it? And that was just a moment where it really clicked, where I recognized, wow, I wonder what other things in the past, right, that are not even material, that I've tried to give people, right? It could be love, it could be support, it could be friendship, that they were not in the frequency to receive. And then that's when we stop taking things personally. So luckily for me, I was able to get a refund. This person never got their gift. I didn't want to resend it because they weren't in the frequency to receive it. And so Source told me, you have to wait until they're in the frequency to receive that type of gift. That they would feel worthy of holding that gift, that material, that item in their reality. You see the frequency of the item, and it's not that the item itself possesses, this um this frequency that is above and beyond, but it's the perception. So what is your perception of the things that you're asking for, that you're putting on a pedestal, so vibrationally you aren't prepared to receive it? Really think about that, because the first step in becoming the receiver is recognizing that Source wants you to have it. Not for any particular reason, not because you had to earn it or prove it. Literally, this is just something I wanted to do, something I wanted to send. I was truly, genuinely excited, anticipating the day that this person would open the gift and have that moment of, oh my gosh, I love this. I absolutely love it, just from my heart. And that's how Source and the universe operates with us 100% of the time. Literally on the edge of its seat, waiting for us to get everything that we want and beyond, even more than we even know that we would love and enjoy, and just wants to bask in that co-creation with us. Okay. So I want to talk about a concept that Source has been giving me, and it's called the quantum casino. The quantum casino. If you go to a casino, there are different games, right? People are playing different games. Maybe you want to play craps, or you want to play blackjack, or you want to play roulette, or you want to hit the slots, whatever it is. Different games for different people. And not only are there different games, there are other players who are interested in playing the same or similar games. If you want to play blackjack and you go sit down, everyone who has vibrationally gravitated to that frequency of that table and of that game wants to partake, wants to co create in that experience. Reality is the same way. For every single condition or experience you are wanting to call in, there are collaborative co creators who are wanting to vibrationally align and meet you on that frequency. Their soul has a similar interest. This is the quantum casino. This is the infinite casino. Reality is your canvas. You can play whatever game you want. And here's the thing, by the way, whatever game you want to play, there are always other people who want to play the same game. An example that I use often is, think about like these weird Facebook groups where, let's say someone had an interest in cars that were made in the 1800s. For whatever reason, they are obsessed with cars that were made in the 1800s, and they create this Facebook group. And it's like this weird, quirky Facebook group, or some weird group for dedicated and devoted to people who love cars that were built in the 1800s. And you look at this thing and you're like, what the fuck? Like 300 people are into this, or 3,000, 300,000 people are into this. And guess what? All of those people have vibrationally aligned to the same interest. Now, why are we talking about this in this way? To expand you out of scarcity. Everybody here right now has a desire to experience their reality in a certain way and play a specific game. But are you believing more in the lack of the resources and the people that can calibrate around that game? Or are you believing in the abundance of that game to thrive, for you to gravitationally pull in whoever, whatever you need to play that game? Because this is what Source does. Oh, you want to play that particular game? Okay, these other souls in the quantum, they want to play the same game. Let me organize it and orchestrate it and pull you all together. Oh, and by the way, you need this information and you need to be here at this time and you're going to need this and you're going to, and it's in just calibrating and molding the energy for you to play that game. But you have to be in a frequency of abundance. You have to be in a frequency of abundance to hold all of the vibrational components that are calibrating around you and the frequency of your intention. If you want a new job, you got to start believing there's an employer in the quantum that wants to hire you, that is a vibrational match to you and what you can offer specifically. If you want to call in a new relationship or a new partner, even your existing partner, you want a different version of that relationship, you have to start believing that there's a vibrational match to you. Specifically, literally, you, the frequency of you. There's someone in the quantum saying, I like that flavor of frequency. I like that taste of vibration. Nothing you need to change about yourself. The only thing that you need to do is to believe that you are enough. And in you being enough and you holding that frequency, embracing the frequency of who you are, your essence, your truest essence and nature, you will attract everyone else in all circumstances and conditions that just reveal to you that you know who you are. You want to attract new clients in a business. There's someone right now literally looking for you and your service and what you can do, or your product, however you approach things, whatever your experience is that has prepared you to serve them in the moment that they meet you in the container. Because their soul wants to play the same game you want to play. You want to play the game of, I'm running a business and I'm offering this. Their soul wants to play the game of, oh, I would really love to enjoy and experience that and align with that frequency at the exact moment that I need it so I can thrive in the way that I want to thrive. This is abundance. This is the true essence of abundance. It's that in the quantum, there's always a vibrational match to whatever we want. And then we become the creator with the cheat codes. And you're not walking around complaining about things. Um, Tax season is approaching soon. And so it's so funny. Like 2 weeks ago, I was thinking about my taxes and I was like, woo, this is going to be a steep tax bill for 2023. It was a phenomenal, abundant, amazing year. So, the tax bill is going to be crazy as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. And Source comes in and Source is like, well, what if you just allowed us to support you in that way. Whatever the bill is the bill, and we got it. There is no lack, there's only abundance. And we're talking about this because for some of you, when you think about the systems on earth, this is where you get tripped up. Well, why is this happening to me? Why do I have to do this? Or when you have the cheat codes to hack the matrix, none of it matters anymore because source is your infinite source of abundance. You don't have to be on the defense anymore. Whatever you need can be provided. If whatever you need can be provided when you need it, then what is there really to be upset about? This is really something that you have to understand about victim consciousness. Victim consciousness is at the core of the timeline loops that people find themselves in. And what is a timeline loop? It's when you manifest the same experience energetically over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Different relationship, same energy. Different job, same energy. Different people you're pulling into your reality, same energy in disguise. Okay? That is a timeline loop. You're going to break yourself out of this perpetual cycle of recreating the same things by shifting any thoughts of victimization. This can seem really radical, and it is. But here's the thing, when you hold total vibrational sovereignty, um, if you create something that you don't like, it's more empowering to say, well, I still created that, than to say, well, why did that happen to me? Or why are they doing this to me? Every time you say, why are they doing this to me? You know what happens? You just give your power away because you really what you're saying energetically and signaling to the universal grid is I don't create my reality. I don't create my reality. And then this quantum computer, it's like a machine. It's just constantly, it's like it's constantly just reading signals and frequencies all day long, scanning frequencies and signals. And it's like, oh, you don't create your reality. Boom. Here's this thing that really makes you feel powerless. 555 on my end makes you feel powerless, makes you feel like you didn't have a choice. And we've all created these experiences where we go, there's absolutely no way that I created that. But we did on some level, even if it's related to a past life and it's karmic and it's more in an akashic type, plane. Even still, the worst things happening in your life, if you just start saying, I created that, and this is something that I did when I recognized that no one was coming to save me. I took radical responsibility over my vibration. It empowers you. It makes you invincible. It makes you unstoppable. There's nothing anyone can tell you to slow you down. You are in complete and total vibrational harmony with spirit, which becomes your infinite source of abundance. And you know that if you create something you don't like, you also have the power to create something that you do like. And then you can stop judging the things you've created that you don't like. And you can dissolve the attachment. A lot of us can be attached to the timeline loop. We think that we want it to shift. We're like, I'm so tired of experiencing this. But subconsciously, we're actually addicted to the chaos. Subconsciously, we're looking for the next thing to go wrong. It's a rhythm. It's like something that's happening in the background. We don't even realize that we're doing it. You have to break that energy up by choosing to receive, knowing that you are worthy to receive something better. and not holding yourself in the past of anything that you created. If you've been following me for a while, something that I always share is I came up with this sort of mantra that I started telling myself years ago when I was just like really in the thick of it in terms of just hacking my whole fucking life. And it's, I can do no wrong in my eyes. This is how you become your own best friend. This is how you enter an unconditional relationship with self. When you're unconditional with self, you're not pushing anything away. You're not resisting anything. You're not judging yourself. You're not holding, and this doesn't mean not being accountable, but it's just simply loosening the load, lightening the load, loosening the energy around things that are happening. And then you get to a point where nobody can make you feel bad about you. Nobody can make you feel bad about anything that's happening in your life. Now you have exited the timeline loop, because the timeline loop is the energy that says, I really hate that this is happening and I'm judging myself and there's shame, especially with money. Breaking out of the money matrix, it really begins with my value in my wealth has nothing to do with what I see in the physical, meaning the way you choose to feel about yourself. If you had $5 and if you had $5 million, there should be no vibrational difference in the way you feel about yourself. That is true wealth. That is what it means to be unconditional with self. Being unconditional with self is the ultimate frequency of abundance, because abundance has no boundaries or limitations. So you have to become that way with yourself. And then you can be the magnetizer of all of the things that show you that you are now in vibrational harmony and resonance with the frequency of self love. That allows you to receive what source is sending you. But you can't wait to get certain things and have certain things to look certain ways to certain people before you become unconditional with yourself. You got to be unconditional with yourself now. And then the quantum computer that's scanning your vibration all day, every single day, it goes, oh, this is one who is embodied in love, which is the same energy as abundance. And then you start attracting things and pulling in things that shows you that you are love. You are love and you are loved unconditionally. So we're hacking your 2024 timeline. And I really want you to think about where you have been not giving yourself love, aka judgment and shame, based on things that you think you should have, based on things that you think maybe went wrong this year. And so you're resisting love from yourself and from source, which is also blocking out everything else in the quantum that's knocking on your door. So there's this other concept I want to talk about that came through the other day for me, and it has to do with failure. The frequency of failure that really stifles so many people energetically. And so many people subconsciously identify as a failure. And here's the thing, to attract anything, you have to, actually already feel like you are that thing. So to attract success, you have to first feel successful. Really let that sit and simmer. To attract success, you have to feel successful now. To attract wealth, you have to feel wealthy now. But what if all these things have been happening and you feel like a failure? That's the frequency we need to be hacking. You need to start looking at every single thing that has occurred in 2023 and before as a success, not the way your ego wants to see it. You got to start perceiving through the lens of your soul. Your soul sees everything as a success. That was a success. That was a success. That was a success. Because the success does not lie in not even the materialization of these manifestations or these things that we want for like that stamp of approval. The success lies in the expansion. And you are always expanding. You cannot not expand. To not expand is to die. So are you still alive? You are still alive. That means you're expanding. That means you've been expanding. Even if you feel like you had the worst year of your life, it was expansion. And the moment you begin choosing that or choosing to see that as success, you shift your core vibration to that of someone who perceives themselves um, as being successful. And now you're in harmony with the rhythm of success. So reality can present conditions and circumstances that show you that you are successful. Some of you have been feeling like a loser your whole life, like the underdog. Oh, this is big. This is big. The underdog energy. This is really big. Um, Especially for me as a black woman, a woman of color, and when I really hacked my reality, it had a lot to do with shedding underdog programs. I finished last program. The are they going to give this to me program. And by the way, this applies to everybody, no matter your race or ethnicity. But I just know that program can be really, really, really deep for indigenous and um, people of color. The underdog frequency and the underdog program, if you're vibrating constantly, I'm an underdog and I finished last and I'm unsuccessful and I'm a failure. Here's the thing about source. Source is like so neutral on whatever we vibrate, and it just shows us what we are. Source never feels bad for you, not based on your race, not based on your ethnicity. This might be triggering, but it's true. Source does not feel bad for you. Source is not believing in your lack. Source is only believing in your prosperity. Source is not believing in your deficiency. Source is only believing in your well being. But because you have free will, if you choose to see yourself in that way, it will support that vibration because you are a creator. And source will never take our power away because that defeats the whole purpose of creating reality. So you're not an underdog because navigating the quantum field, it's about getting to the core vibration. These timeline loops where people are stuck and they keep remanifesting the same thing, and they're working on some beliefs and they're consuming all this information online, and you didn't hack the identity. You didn't really get to the core of what you believe about yourself. You didn't really shift how you perceive who you are. That is the key. So we're trying to break through right now. We're trying to crash your coding. We're trying to get to the true essence of you, which is an infinitely abundant and intelligent being who can create anything. Anything. So we're collapsing the energy of the generations before us, all of the trauma loops and programs and collective realities that they have co-created. Okay. We're creating a timeline split in this moment. We're splitting off from that energy. We're saying, hey, we understand there was some trauma and some pain and some beliefs and some programs and some circumstances that come with the collective reality of humanity. And I want to emphasize this applies to all races and ethnicities. Every single group on this planet has experienced trauma, genocide, wars, pain, psychological warfare. We're creating a collective timeline split where we are forgiving and making peace and assuming our true source essence. This is where karma becomes dharma. And this is the hardest part. Oftentimes, when you begin shifting your reality or trying to reprogram yourself, it feels like you cannot catch a break. It feels like everything is going wrong. It's in the DNA. It's literally in the DNA. The frequency of the DNA that is storing the trauma codes and the programs and the pain of the past is attracting those experiences. You're changing, you're trying to change, but on a structural level, the energy, it's crystallized into the DNA. So that's what this is all about. We are all ascending our DNA through working on ourselves, through raising our vibration, through expanding our consciousness. So I know it gets difficult. I know it's hard. You're doing everything you possibly can. You're doing everything you can. And it seems like things just keep happening. Keep going. You are alchemizing the cycle of the ancestral karma, and then the karma becomes the dharma, and your dharma is your purpose. It's your reason for being. Your dharma is the depth of the contract, the commitment to being here at this time. So every time something happens and it stings, I want you to say, my karma is becoming my dharma. There will be a breakthrough moment. There will be a breakthrough moment, especially in 2024, the year of 8. That's why we wanted to have this conversation. We're going into an infinity portal. It's really already here. What happens in an infinity portal? Things are hyper accelerated. That means shadows show up 10 times faster. But it also means your dharma can be magnetized 10 times faster. I have one more phase of this transmission that I want to share. I feel the Andromedan octopus collective coming in since we're talking about the year of 8. And I want to share something really cool and interesting about the octopus as a species here. They're really interdimensional aliens, extraterrestrials. And they have 9 brains. And I want to say they have 3 hearts. And they have the 8 tentacles. So they've been coming in as an energy for the year of 8 because 9 brains, super intelligent, 3 hearts. That means the year of 8 is the total encompassing of head and heart, intelligence and spirit intertwining and working together. And the heart, as we know, is like 25 times stronger in terms of the electromagnetic bandwidth and frequency that radiates from our heart. So we have 2 core psychic centers. Okay. We have your pineal gland and we have your brain constantly transmitting and receiving frequencies, signals. And your heart, a quantum portal, constantly transmitting frequencies and signals. Now imagine that times 3. And imagine your brain capacity times 9. We're just trying to paint the picture of the energy that we're walking into. All of the work that you've been doing has been leading you to this point to hold this accelerated frequency. This is the ascension timeline. It's here. You already did it. No matter what it's looking like, you already did it. You would not be here right now if you didn't already do it on some level. The crystalline nervous system is coming online. Um, the Octopus Collective is just showing me how sensitive each of their 8 arms are. I mean, highly, highly complex cellular and nervous system um, structures. It's all representative in this year of 8. Interesting thing about the crystalline nervous system is first you have to purge energy, and many of us have already been doing that. We've been clearing the lower 3 chakras. We've been pushing out some density. At first that does create a little bit of chaos in the field, but our nervous system is healing and ascending in a way that allows us to hold the frequency of peace. We can be unconsciously attracting chaos because it's a jerk reaction. Our nervous system is so used to being in fight or flight and figuring, I got to figure this thing out and I got to do this. And we've all experienced that moment where we experience an ounce of peace and then our brain go, oh, something's wrong or something. It's like you're looking for the next thing. That's going to be a big thing that many people start to overcome. Okay. So this transmission feels complete. I want to wish you a happy, happy, happy new year within this universal time matrix, right? Because really, um, the new year is in the spring solstice, and we'll talk about that at another time. But it's okay, right? It's okay to have these matrix markers, is what I'm hearing, and use the energy accordingly. I will drop in one more code because we just had the winter solstice. This is really important for the crystalline nervous system and just how we are ascending and accelerating as beings who are living in harmony with the earth. These are months that are meant for rest, going within, death in a way, dying. Some parts of you are going to die over the next 2 months. Allow that process to take place. Chill out on some of the manifestations until the spring, right? When the planet starts blossoming, that is an energy that supports your manifestation. When the planet is resting, you should be resting. I know folks have jobs and we live in the real world. There are different ways that you can do this. If you have vacation time, take that, use that time during this time. This is how we start recalibrating to move in harmonious rhythm with the cycles of nature that gets us in alignment with how things have been intelligently engineered and designed. The intelligence is already built into nature. And this is why we have been off for thousands of years, because we don't move in harmony with the cycles. We move against nature. So even if you set the intention to, in small ways, right? What I'm personally doing is I'm taking some time off of doing personal work. I'm still going to show up and do transmissions like this, but I'm going to go more into a creative energy, and I'm going to use my energy and put it into myself and not necessarily, work with people in a very hands-on way. There are ways that you can do this. Going to sleep earlier, I'm hearing. Setting the intention. Mother Nature, Father Nature, help me align with the cycles and the seasons so I can live in harmony and balance. And then something really interesting happens with manifestations. It's all just happening. Like it's I've been telling people um I live in the vortex now. And this is what ascension really is. I live in the vortex. The manifestations, you don't really have to do much at a point. You're so in harmony, in rhythm with the cosmos, with source. It's like this thing is dropping in, this thing is dropping in, and it's just happening. And now you're experiencing it as this unfolding miracle that just gets better and better and better. And I did not see that coming, but fuck, I really like it. I don't know what the hell that just was, but I really like that. So we're also shifting, right? Because what source is giving me is how it works with evolution, the evolution of species and planets and civilizations, is information will be given to us at a specific point in time when we need it to elevate to the next stage and level. So the material on manifestation and the information on manifestation was given to us so we could start remembering and realizing that we are quantum creative beings. But we're coming up on a ceiling, a threshold here where we're going beyond the conscious manifestation and we're just living in alignment with spirit. It's easy. You don't have to try. You are being it. You are radiating it. You are at one with the field itself. You are the field. It's a different frequency than some of the um forceful ways of trying to create. So, this is coming through because if you've been feeling like you actually don't have any desires anymore, that is a sure sign that you are getting ready to step into, truly step into your anchored 5D, 6D, 7D self, even for some of you, that is just living in total alignment. It's a different way of experiencing reality. Okay. So I love you guys so much. Have a beautiful new year. And okay, one more thing is coming through. If you need something more tangible to, really help you feel like you are anchoring into a new grid, reflect on your 2023 and write a gratitude letter to the spirit and the energy of the year itself. What did it show you? What did it teach you? That's going to activate a core frequency of abundance and gratitude that will carry you into your new cycle. You see, we're going into the year of 8. We just completed a 7 year. Divine cycles move in sevens. So the energy that you activate right now is setting you up for your next cycle of 7. And really hone in on what we mentioned earlier about um, there's no such thing as failure. There is only success. You are a success. In the eyes of Source, you are an infinite success. Everything you do is successful. Everything you've done has been successful. There's no such thing as failure because success is expansion and you're always expanding. If you were not expanding, you would be dead. So you are a success already. Okay. Much love, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. And you can catch this replay